I've got 3 o'clock. So we'll go ahead and call the Ways and Means Committee meeting to order. And Chairman Carpenter, would you mind opening us up in a word of prayer?
Now, so I appreciate the
Me
kindness
too.
of asking me there. Dear Heavenly and gracious Father, we come to you and we just ask that you lay hands on us over the next couple of days as we finish up this session, Father. Be with us as we get frantic. Help us to be kind even when we're in a fight with each other, and help us to think of each other before ourselves, and continue to think of Georgians and all Georgians as we go through this process. Forgive us for our many sins, and be with this committee as we bestow our wisdom on this legislation. In your son's name we swear. Amen.
Well, we have one bill on the agenda, and the author of the bill of SB 516 is with us today. I do want to say it has been really good getting to know him and understand where this bill originated and where it's coming from. And we have a similar pursuit, I think, over in the Senate. And he's been gracious enough to allow us to put this substitute forward. And I think it has Representative Buckner's language on it regarding hazardous waste. So we're trying to get something moving on this front, and it may not be in the exact form that it ends up in, but I think it's in a form that allows to move forward and hopefully see some movement this session and get something done. But Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to give you the microphone if you'd like to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. And I want to make sure that I'm looking at the right sub. But
It's got LC 432439S.
yeah, I think
Okay.
it was the last one we received. And I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you for the opportunity that you gave me to meet with you last night while you were on your way home to take care of your child, and you took the time out to have that conversation. That means a lot. This entire process started over an audit that was done on EPD back in 2015, which basically uncovered the fact that we were extremely dysfunctional based on the results of the audit and based on comments made from EPD back to the audit, stating where they were understaffed and there were a lot of problems with it. And in the audit, they recommended that the collections be done from the wholesaler as opposed to the retailer. Because of staffing, it's hard for one department within government staffed to the level that EPD was staffed to, which is understaffed, for this particular task to go out and try to collect this $1 fee from thousands of retailers. So the audit recommended that they be collected from the wholesale side, which means seemed to make sense. So the legislation we originally proposed was to do it from the wholesalers. We met with EPD and Department of Revenue in my office back in February, had all the players in the room. Department of Revenue at that time said it would not be in their best interest to become part of the process because it would require infrastructure, it would require additional employees, personnel in order to conduct audits and in order to have it as part of their system. EPD at the time, we all agreed that the audit report said there's about $3 million being left on the table. We feel that number is probably even a little higher than that. But based on the fact that they had 15 inspectors going around dealing with thousands of retailers, that would be a problem. Well, since that time and through evolution and other things, we're back now where Department of Revenue said if asked to, they will do it. It will require retailers to do an additional monthly report based above the one they do on sales tax. So retailers will have to do that. DOR saying they will still need an appropriations to be able to do what they need to do. But I do see some opportunities moving forward in addressing with the bureaucracy, because my goal is to get these giant piles of old tires out of the state of Georgia before they catch on fire, or have them recycled and used here in Georgia as they're used in my district on the Ray, something that Chairman Smith is very familiar with. And He and I serve in a district that is extremely environmentally conscious. We have one of the best waterworks in the state. And we have that piece of highway that is being replicated around the world in different transportation departments around in different states. So I think this gives us a great opportunity if we do allow DOR to collect this money. I think we'll see it will go up substantially over what we're pulling in now through EPD. And also, I think it'll give us another opportunity to look at EPD. And if they are no longer carrying out portions of the task, there may be opportunities also to realign some of the missions and some of the other things. Some local folks with this fund, we have to be very careful about it, which is why there was a constitutional amendment passed and why the citizens of Georgia, over 80%, said they want this dollar and any other dedicated fee that we get from taxpayers to go where it belongs. There was one group out there that gave an interview and they said it's time that the state has some skin in the game. EPD's budget is $119 million. If our taxpayers don't have skin in the game already, I don't know what kind of skin they're talking about. Our taxpayers are spending a lot of money to take care of our environment. And we're already leaving $3 to $5 million on the table. We're not being good stewards of our taxpayers' money if we're doing that. And I trust Department of Revenue will absolutely do it. So, Mr. Chairman, the substitute that you came up with is exactly what we were trying to do the entire time. I appreciate your professionalism. I appreciate your diligence on this, and I appreciate the communication. And I think working with this, we'll be able to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, and we're going to stay on it and make sure that we do. But again, thank you. I feel like I've made a new friend. I know the House and the Senate get along lovely. As long as we're not in a leadership position, we seem to just rock and roll all day long. But I've got friends on this committee, and I appreciate y'all's hard work, and thank y'all for helping me through this process.
Well, thank you for being here today. I feel the exact same way. It's been a pleasure talking with you and getting to know you, and I look forward to hopefully working with you on future things when we have the opportunity.
I'm
Chairman.
extremely bashful, and so it may take a little while, but
And,
we'll work it
and
out.
and we're both old dads, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you were heading home to your 2-year-old, and I was heading home to my 3-year-old. So
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chairman Carpenter, is that you? You had a question?
Quick question. So I didn't realize, so the whole time because I've heard this conversation through the back channels, of course, and I did not realize that retailers currently do not submit this money to the Department of Revenue. This is an actual change that's occurring.
Right. Currently, right now, EPD, something that's positive in this conversation, EPD developed a program online, a dashboard, if you will, where the retailers could send that dollar fee in there. And when EPD and DOR, and we all met in my office, EPD said they had 15 inspectors to go out and do this. Right. And in your district and in mine, 15 are not going to, there's no way 15 people can manage the retailers I have just in Columbus and LaGrange. And we're asking them to do this for the entire state of Georgia, which was the reason that the idea came up. The audit said that it should be from the wholesaler. And so that was where the idea from our original legislation had the wholesalers. And Department of Revenue, they're the kings of collection. We understand that. And to prove that, for this system to fall in, these retailers are going to be doing it monthly. And so,
yeah, I mean, I think they're already submitting sales tax stuff anyway. So it just makes sense for another line item on that form to go to the Department.
Well, it's actually going to be a separate form because it's a dedicated fee, but it's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's going to be like for a hotel, it'd be like a hotel motel tax. You're going to submit a sales tax and then a hotel motel tax.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
correct.
I like the changes because I'm a big fan in some other areas of kind of taxing at the end user instead of through the wholesale process. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So Representative Bentley.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And good afternoon. Up in Columbus, Georgia. I just want to publicly thank you for your work on this bill and make sure that my colleagues know that I do support this legislation because I believe this bill takes a small but important step to create markets for scrap tires. And so I just want to thank you for your work and look forward to voting on this bill at the appropriate time, Mr. Chairman.
And Madam, I do think at one time, one of the largest tire piles we had was up in your district. And so I know some work's been done to take care of that. And I appreciate the way you take care of your district and my kinfolk that happen to live up and around there. So thank you.
Is that a move to pass?
Oh, yes, sir. It's a move do pass. That's a move do pass.
There's a motion and a second.
From-
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Those opposed, like sign. Bill passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do have a bill that's been through subcommittee a couple of times, did not make it on the agenda. But I'm going to talk about it briefly. Do we have it on the, if you'll refresh your laptop, it is an unchanged version of the clerk's bill by Chairman Anderson. And this cleans up a little. It's 511, Senate Bill 511. And it just changes some of the dates around, cleans up some language regarding our how we handle our tax assessor situation. I think it passed unanimously in the Senate. Came through real clean. So if we don't have any comments or questions,
just on lines 27 through 32. Or I'm looking at this, I'd seen it before. It seems like at one point this bill had a place where it was making it harder for the taxpayer to get it appealed. Did I misread the numbers on that? Everything looked very friendly in there except for one section.
I'm told that it checked out.
Okay, all right, then I'll go with the chair. I just,
Okay.
at one point,
Is, Mr. Chairman, yes, sir.
Came through the committee. I'm ready to move.
All right, move to pass. Second, any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Was that one? All right, thank you. Bill passes. Meeting's adjourned.